Hello everybody. We're here to talk to you about dark web and Bitcoin today, which is part of our presentation. The whole presentation was compiled by Matthew Butcher, Sam Duxbury, myself and Carl Thomas. So we'll start with a topical overview where we'll give you a dark web definition, access to maintain, to get into the dark web itself, sites that is not visible to conventional browsers, what Bitcoin is, how to use Bitcoin, legalities, and also ethical issues and conclusions and recommendations. The dark web is defined as the World Wide Web content that exists underneath the layers that you can normally see through your normal conventional browsers, as seen on the screen behind me here, Google, Bing, the rest of them. So you can see the trawl information's down here, and the dark web predominantly lies beneath the surface. Right, methods to prevent indexing of pages is contextual web pages, dynamic content, limited access, non-HTML content, private web, scripted content, software, for example browsers in this case, unlinked content, and web archives. Now this just gives you a representation of what is known through Google and the rest of the web browsers, which is this little piece here of the pie, the 4%, and the other 96% is the unknown, which can be accessed with specific software only. So, when it comes to browsers, for example, you've got your conventional browsers, under the names of Google and Firefox as an example. So, World Wide Webs, yes, they can access. When it goes to the deep web, not at all. Now, Tor, which stands for the Onion Router, is a browser which can access both in that sense because it uses specific criteria to get into it. The Onion Router has got installation instructions which can be found directly onto the Tor project, which was developed by the US Navy. So you can find it via a conventional search engine, configure the Tor browser. As a recommendation, it's always good to set up a VPN for it as well, and then enjoy surfing the dark web at your own leisure. Now, once Tor is installed, it basically works by bouncing the signal off different various servers, so thereby resembling the onion, which is layers that it peels away so that you can successfully access the web in different ways. So what it will do is it hides yourself within different networks until you reach your destination, and thereby you can get the information you want to access in the first place. And I'll turn over to one of my colleagues to talk to you about the legality of the dark web.
So there's many issues about the legality of the dark web, and many questions are asked about whether the dark web is actually legal. And the fact is, the dark web is 100% legal to browse in the UK and in the USA. This is due to its inaccessibility to web crawlers. However, when specific products are bought, such as illegal drugs or illegal porn, then this is when browsing the dark web does become illegal. So the legality of Bitcoin, it totally depends on who you are, what you're doing, and where you live. The legality of the Bitcoin is very used with the drugs and ammunition trade, because it's anonymity, and the police cannot track the use of Bitcoin. As the UK as a whole, we have a positive stance on the use of the Bitcoin trade. As I've said previously, each country has a different stance on the use of Bitcoin. Now I'm going to produce you a list of each country in the European Union and show you that each individual country's stance on the use of Bitcoin. Right, so just for example, we're going to take here Cyprus. Cyprus don't have any regulation on the use of Bitcoin, so it's freely acceptable as a use of currency. This in comparison to somewhere like the European Union, again, where no specific legislation has been passed, so it's not subject to interest, and it's definitely not subject to any tax by the government. Also, the French authorities have issued regulation on the use of Bitcoin in 2014, making it a vital a currency that is allowed for the use of professionals at exchange, but also it is subject to taxation. So, how to keep safe on the dark web? These are just a few do's and don'ts for if you are going to browse the dark web. Number one, as a do, is do use the Tor web browser. Another do is do use indexes to browse safely. Within the Tor website, you will normally find indexes that finish in .onion. These are a list of safe sites that you can use to help navigate through the dark web. And the final do is do cover up your webcam. These websites, you do not know what developers have created these websites, so it's always a good idea to cover up your webcam with some kind of sellotape or a piece of paper to make sure that the developers of the website aren't going to be using your webcam to film you. And just some don'ts. Don't purchase anything off the dark web. This is where the use of the dark web does become illegal, as you could be potentially buying harmful and dangerous goods. My final don't is don't use websites such as uTorrent or downloads when you are on the dark web. The aim of the dark web is to browse the internet anonymously. However, if you do start using uTorrents or downloads, then this does make you subject to being to your anonymity being taken away.
So you probably heard about all the bad use that people use the dark web for, such as buying weapons, drugs. I'm going to tell you an example of someone using it for good. A person who used the dark web for good is Insinger. He's a hacker who runs a website where anything goes. On this website, you can put up anyone's personal details, security information. As long as the information is accurate, it will stay on there. This hacker, in March, took over a page called the Hidden Wiki. This page provides links to the most popular sites, including child pornography. Lists like these are important because it makes navigating the dark web a lot easier. Pages like this help users find where they want to go and discover something new. This is because in the deep web sites are long, complex combinations of numbers and letters that aren't picked up by search engines like Google or Bing. This hacker then hacked into the website, held it hostage, and then removed all the links to child pornography. That's an example of people using the dark web to cut down on child pornography, people distributing weapons, so on and so forth. Now people wondering, how did the dark deep web start? Well, the term was made by Bright Planet. They're an internet search technology company that specializes in searching the deep web. The dark web actually started from the US military. The reason why they needed the dark web was because it allowed them a way to communicate with intelligent assets and Americans abroad without being detected. Three mathematicians, Paul Silverson, David Godslag and Michael Redd, started Onion Router in 1995. The research turned into the Onion Router project, which is better known as Tor, in 1997. The US Navy released the Tor code to the world in 2004, and in 2006, a group of developers formed the Tor project and released a service that is currently in use.
Bitcoin is a form of currency which is digital and held electronically. They are produced by businesses running computers all around the world which solve mathematical problems. You cannot make as many coins as you would like. Around 21 million Bitcoins can be made a year. They can, however, be divided into smaller parts. The smallest division can be 1 million of a Bitcoin. The Bitcoin network is decentralized. Every machine which mines Bitcoin is part of a network, and the machines work together. No one can tinker with the monetary value of the currency. It is easy to set up, unlike a traditional bank account, where there are many processes which have to be undergone. It is anonymous to an extent, as many users can set up a different account without personal identity info. It is transparent as Bitcoin details every transaction that has happened on the network. It becomes more opaque when different users use different accounts. Compared to a bank, transaction fees are minuscule. Banks charge £10 international fees, while Bitcoin doesn't. You can send money anywhere and it will arrive minutes later. Therefore, it is much faster than traditional banks. When Bitcoins are sent incorrectly, the person who got the Bitcoins is entitled to keep them if they wish. Examples of where to buy Bitcoins are shown on the screen. The graph on the screen shows the value of Bitcoins from 2013 to 2016. Currently, one Bitcoin is worth £593.77. In 2013, the value of Bitcoin spiked at the end of 2013. Then, due to regulations coming into play in 2014, the value of Bitcoins gradually deteriorated back down to the £400 range. There are several positive effects of using the dark web. It enables anonymous whistleblowing to happen, which has been done for a site called WikiLeaks. There is also more access to research materials which could potentially be hidden through governments, for example. And also allows people to view news articles without government interpretation. This therefore offers an avenue for people to express their opinions on potentially negative organisations or organisations such as communism. The dark web is famously used as a black market for things such as guns, drugs and child pornography. It protects users from surveillance and censorship. Therefore, such activities as terrorists could use this to communicate. An example of this being the Paris attacks, in which this was found out that they used this for the communications. There is also a lot of phishing and scams happening on the dark web, just like there is on the normal web, so you would have to be careful with that as well.
Right, so this is just a demonstration. So what we've done is we've opened a web page here with Tor, and then we've opened another web page over here with Safari browser, and it's just to show you the difference between the two and what it allows through as traffic. So for example, we've taken one of the links, which is the Onion URL repository within the hidden wiki, which is in the dark web. So we'll click on each one and just show you the difference between them. So once you click on the link in the Tor browser, it automatically brings you up a load of URLs that you can click on with the descriptions on it. And then if you move over onto the one with Safari, it comes back with a message and says you're not connected to the internet, because you're bouncing it obviously between the users onto the sites as well. And because it goes through a lot of security protocols under this one as well, it doesn't seem as safe browsing. So therefore, it says to you that you're not connected to the internet, while with the Tor browser, you're online automatically, you can browse to your own leisure. It's just reports. It's just trying to get the
dark web.
Different bitcoins within the world, each have a different stance on. Let's start again.
That's right.
Examples of where you can buy bitcoins are shown below. Below, fuck's sake. End of 2013, it spikes.
Yeah. The only thing I'd say to him is move a bit more to your right, just so we could see the equation.
Oh, the value, yeah.
Value, yeah. Yeah, there, yeah.
Yeah, you're recording.